Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out LeboView, and today I'm going to be doing a review on an outdoor item, and it's because we're getting ready to go camping and we need a grill that's going to take care of our needs. Let me show you what we got. This is the Weber Jumbo Joe. Now it's an 18-inch grill, and we were thinking about the smaller 14-inch, but we took a look at them at the store, and even though there's just two of us, if you're going to do vegetables and steam them off to the side in aluminum foil, or maybe potatoes or something like that, there's just not a lot of room on the 14-inch, including about 4 burgers or maybe about 3 pieces of chicken and the vegetables also. So what we did was went with a little bit bigger. And the reason we went with Weber is because of our other grill. Now I did a review on the other grill and it's spectacular. We've had it for quite some time and we use it all the time. Matter of fact, we just used it yesterday. Here's the grill that we cook on all the time. This is a Weber Performer series, and the new ones are a little bit different in design, but for the most part they're exactly the same. This thing's unbelievable. We've had this now for about 4 years and we haven't found a fault with it yet. It uses just a little bit of propane to get the charcoal started and does the job well. The best thing about it is I love the design that it has an air intake underneath, and then it has a vent on top and a couple of grates. One, of course, for the charcoal inside that the air will come up underneath, and then the grate that you cook on. Whenever I was deciding between the Smokey Joe Jr., which is the smaller one, it's a 14-inch, and this one here, other than the size, the other thing that I like about this one is it has a lid holder. Now, you can get the Smokey Joe Jr. with a lid holder. The problem is, with that one, it doesn't have the air coming in from underneath. It has it coming in from the side. I found that that usually doesn't work with grills as far as getting the charcoal to the temperature that you want and keeping it consistent. So we'll go ahead and open this up, take a look at it, and put it together, and I'll give you my initial thoughts on what I think as far as the size and the feel of it, and then we'll go from there with some of the features. So you can see here's the box that it comes in. We'll go ahead and open it up. And inside you can see here's what it looks like fully assembled. This is the assembly guide. Everything's pictures, pretty straightforward. Yeah, there's all the parts that are inside, so the best thing you can do at this point is do inventory to make sure you have it all. The only thing it looks like for tools is just the flat tip screwdriver. Of course, here's the grill owner's guide. There's the vent. Okay, here's the lid. And here's the base, the bottom, the kettle. Here we have a nice hubcap for VW. Oh no, this is the ash catcher. There's the handle, the 3 legs. Here's part of the lid holding assembly. Here's the underside air control hardware. Here's the cooking surface. Here's the charcoal grate. And here's the flip lock lid holder carrier handle. First thing it says for me to do is attach the handle. It's kind of nice. It comes with this little wrench, so you don't have to get out a wrench to do any work on the nuts. That's kind of cool. What I also noticed about this wrench is it makes it so you don't over tighten the nuts and cause a crack in the ceramic. Now this ceramic coating that's actually baked onto this lid, they do it like it's 1600 degrees, so it's basically welded onto this lid. But if you cause a crack in the porcelain, chipping it, dropping the lid, something like that, it causes it to break away and rust really fast. So what they do is make it to where you can only tighten these nuts so far without over tightening. At this point they're telling you to make sure that you put the correct air vent on here. And the reason that you can tell that this is the correct one is it says Weber and it gives you some information. Obviously you're not going to put that on the bottom of the kettle so you can't read it. Plus this has 4 holes versus the other one has 3 holes. So let me go ahead and install this. It's telling me that I'm going to use a rounded top screw and a washer and a nut. And these nuts are a self-locking style. So let me go ahead and put that on. All right, one note, whenever you're going to tighten this down and you use the wrench on the other side, make sure you don't go too tight or this will be harder to turn. Okay, that takes care of the lid. The lid's done at this point. Now we're moving to the kettle. It's the same thing. You're going to use the 3-hole vent, the same smaller headed rounded nut and bolt setup. Okay, now on this one, be careful because these edges are a little sharp. You don't want to cut yourself. And again, since these are self-locking nuts, you don't need to over tighten it. Make sure that this spins pretty freely so it's easier on yourself. Okay, now it's telling me to direct my attention towards the legs and the VW hubcap. What we'll do is position this to where this is trapped within these three legs. We'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, first it's telling me to put these three legs together. And the way you do that is you put those three in, then it's telling you to go with one of these lock washers and then a wing nut. They say I'm not going to over tighten that wing nut quite yet. Now this part's going to seem a little backwards, but this bowl goes underneath of these tabs. It does not go on top, it goes underneath. And the way that it's held then is the bottom here. You can see how that's held up. Okay, so the next thing it's telling me to do is to grab a couple washers, slide them on to the handle, and this isn't the lid handle, this is the handle for the entire grill, and then it goes in a couple of holes here on the sides. Now the way this is designed, the handle can only go so far down, it won't go any further. I mean, you can force it, but that's all the further that it goes right there. So that's it. Okay, now this is where it'll be a little bit trickier. You want to flip the handle to the side that will put one hole closest to the middle. If you go to the other side, you can see the middle's in a big empty space. And the reason is because this piece here, which works in conjunction with the handle, needs to attach to this bracket and that hole that I just showed you all at once. We're going to use these big screws, that's the only screws that are left, put a washer on it. Down through the one leg, we're then going to get one of these lock washers and the wing nut and put that on. So I got that on there to kind of hold everything together as you're tightening it down. Now at this point, it's just a matter of putting on the other screws. Now I'll show you what those screws look like whenever you're putting them on. You're going to take the screw, you're going to take the washer, and then this is going to go through the hole inside the kettle, through the leg. At that point, on the other side, you'll put a lock washer and a wing nut to tighten it all down. Okay, at this point it's pretty much assembled. Now what I did is I left a lot of the nuts loose that go to all the legs until everything was together, and then I snugged everything up with a screwdriver. With these you can go a little tighter if you want. It's not really going to hurt. This one down here I just kind of did finger tight, just like that. And now it's a matter of putting the grill in, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so the first thing you're going to put in is the charcoal grate, and the tines go on top of the ring, and it just sets in here. It moves around like this, no big deal, doesn't hurt anything. And then of course your cooking surface, and it does the same thing. That's how it sets on. And then finally the lid itself. The nice feature about this big bail that you see here, this handle, and also it's a lid holder, is it just clips in to that bracket that you put. That's why it's kind of important where you put the bracket at. Whenever you're cooking, you lift the lid and set it off to the side. You don't have to find a place for the lid. This will hold it. And if I move it around here, you can see that gives you plenty of cooking. It might actually help shield the wind if the wind's blowing. It might help put wind in here if you're wanting that, maybe if the wind's coming this way, which I do that sometimes to preheat the charcoal or superheat the charcoal, get the wind to work for me also. And also, going back to the feature of the bail, once this comes out, this comes up, clips in place, and you can transport the entire grill. Alright, so that's it. It's not hard to do at all. I took my time, I did this video, and it only took me about 20 minutes. And the nice thing is, all you need is a screwdriver, and they give you a wrench. The instructions are very clear. You don't have to read anything. It's all about pictures. Alright, so now we're doing the part of the review that's the most fun, and that's going to be cooking on it. The coals are burning really good, and that's because we used the starter chimney. However, I'm sure that this would have started just fine without. And now we're placing a couple baked potatoes on there, and we're also going to have some steaks that'll be on there. So we'll come back and see how it does. And the funny part is my sister stayed with my mom, and it's how bad it got. This would have been, I can't remember what year it was. It was in the 80s. Ooh, they're looking good. All right, so we just got done eating the food that we prepared on the little grill, and I have to say it did a good job. The baked potatoes were awesome, and it maintained a constant temperature the whole time. So if you're looking for a grill, this is the way to go. I'm going to put the link down below for this. Click the link, it'll take you right to it. It'll be shipped to you, Amazon. If you have Prime, you'll get it 2 days for free. And if not, you'll still get it shipped free, just not 2 days. It'll take about 3 to 4 at the most. This is a good quality grill. I think that the coating on it looks just like the stuff that's on my big grill, so I expect it to last quite a long time. Plus, this thing has a crazy warranty. It's something like 10 years. By the time 10 years is up, maybe I'll be ready for another grill. Maybe something different will be out there. But in the meantime, I love this little grill. I'm sure it's going to do a good job for us. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And click like or subscribe. Bye.